अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोर्श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। The topic for today's Sunday talk here is Divine Yoga. We've all heard the word yoga, and it is so pervasive now that it has become a household name, and it has proliferated in all areas. We see yoga centers all over the place. It's not only here in the United States, but it's everywhere. This kind of yoga, of course, we are used to seeing well-toned bodies practicing yoga, the exercises of yoga. But really, this is one part of yoga. The word yoga has got two meanings, principal meanings. One is samadhi. Yoga means samadhi. Technically, it means concentration. You attain to that state of yoga through concentration. And this is the word that is generally used in the yoga philosophy, in the yoga aphorisms of Patanjali. The other very popular meaning of the word yoga is to union, to join together. The word yoke is what is the meaning of the word yoga. So yoga everywhere is now becoming so, as I say, ubiquitous in society. And we have things like hot yoga and pot yoga, etc., etc. Now, this has in a way diluted the real implications of what yoga is. Today, I'm going to give you another meaning of the word yoga, which generally is not used because it's not known. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, in fact, two times, Pashya me yoga maishwaram, see my divine yoga. The first time he uses it in the 9th chapter, where he says, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. And then quickly he flips, saying, no, those beings are not in me. Then where are we? We are supposed to be living in God and working and breathing and etc. Live and move and have a being in God. He says, he gives an illustration of like a mighty wind flowing in space. So all beings are in me. Fine, we can understand that. And then he says, I am in them. Again, I said, he flips and says, no, they are not in me. Now, this has a very profound meaning and a profound implications for all philosophies and all religions. We find him saying, Pashyame yogam, see my divine form. Saying, Nachamat matsthani sarva bhutani, all beings are established in me. That's it. And then he said, like I said, Nachamatstani, no, they do not dwell in me. Then he said, Pashyame yogi, see my divine yoga. Wish we could see it, but he's telling Arjuna. And in a way, he's telling all of us. So this first appears in the 9th chapter. Then in the 11th chapter, there he comes with a slightly different variation. He takes a slight different take on this divine yoga. There too, he says, you can't see this form of mine. I'll give you divine eyes. Divyam dadami te chakshu. I'll give you divine eyes. And then he said, Pashyame yoga. Then you see my divine yoga. Now, he is not going to show his yoga poses, nor is he going to be sitting down and doing meditation. So what is this yoga? And he quotes saying, this was in response to Arjuna's prayer, where he calls him the great master of yoga, Mahayogeshwara Hari. So he says, Hari, that is Lord, is the great Lord of yoga. Now we have two things, the Lord of yoga and yoga, the divine yoga. We've got to take both of these together as one. And Arjuna, when he sees the translation, he says, if you think I'm good enough to see your real form, please show me your real form. And then the Lord says, yes, I'll show you my divine form. And what does he see? He sees the entirety of creation. And there's a long list of, you can say, attributes. He sees the entire creation in the body of the Lord. Oh my God. We feel creation is only what we see. There are other realms that we cannot see, even physically. You need microscopes and electron microscopes to see. These are also existent things. But there is a realm which is beyond microscopes, electron microscope, and even eyes, and etc. These are the subtle realms. the universe is made of layers and layers and layers of existence. We think existence is one, and we think we are existent, and the whole existence depends on me. That has been such a misconception in people trying to understand Vedanta. I exist, so I'm important. Oh no, you are just one on one layer of existence. Existence cannot be dependent on your I. That's one of the most, we can say, silliest arguments that one encounters. Existence from the lowest to the highest. In Vedanta, you will get from a blade of grass up to Brahma, Brahma Stambha Pariyanta. So there it includes all the divine realms and the not divine realms also. But then we call it the non-divine realms. We call it this realm as the mundane. But this also in a way is divine. So we find existence is a multi-layered, you can say, reality. It stretches unimaginably vast. And Arjuna sees the entirety of this existence within the body of Krishna. Now you can understand how vast this reality of God is in comparison to the existence that we know. So this is one aspect of yoga. He says, see my divine yoga. And what is the divine yoga? Existence. The entirety of creation is within the body of her. Now, what is this God that we are talking about? God, we say, is omniscient. Yes, it's omniscient. But a verse in one of the scriptures, it says, yes, God is omniscient, it is knowledge. And what is the knowledge? He knows the beginning, the middle, and the end of everything, of creation, preservation, destruction. Utpattim pralayam yas, bhutanam agatim gatim. He knows the past, the present, and the future of all beings. Now that includes all beings, from the amoeba right up to the highest, you can say, creator gods, Brahma, etc. He knows the past, present, and future. He also knows how much knowledge and how much ignorance is there in all beings. This is omniscience. When you say, what is omniscience? Yes, he knows everything. And then there's another power of God. It's called Aishwarya. And that is the sovereignty. God is the only one who is capable of ruling this universe. And what about the other millions of gods? Even they are aspects of that one Godhead. So we have a plethora of gods and goddesses and semi-goddesses, demi-goddesses, celestials, and the works. And they are called Siddhas and Kinnaras and the Gandharvas and Yakshas. All these, actually, this higher worlds are teeming with beings. He knows each and every one, their beginning, their middle, their end, their past, present, future, how much knowledge and how much ignorance they have, everything. Why? Because, as the scriptures say, he knows himself. When we are asked, know thyself, that was the old, you can say, words written in a temple in Athens, Greece. Know thyself. That was the whole idea of existence. Know your existence. God knows. We don't even know much things about us. We have forgotten many things. We don't know how our bodies are running. We can assume it is running because we feel we are alive. Our knowledge is very limited. But in the case of God, God is omniscient. So he knows everything. So this word yoga, as he says, Pashyame yoga maishwaram. See my divine yoga. What is this yoga then? Yoga is the power of God. And as the power of God is non-different from God, that is, like fire and its power to burn, he is yoga. God is yoga. And as Arjuna said, you, Hari, that is, he is the great Lord of yoga, Maha Yogeshwara Hari. And this word, he is a great Lord of yoga, has been repeated often by Arjuna. So, what is this divine yoga? And many philosophers have tried to dissect, trisect, tease out the meaning of what yoga is. Shankaracharya, in his commentaries, he says, extraordinary yoga powers. Okay, Aishwarya Yoga. Ramanujacharya, he says, God's association or yoga with infinite knowledge, infinite powers, infinite formidability, infinite strength, infinite valor, everything. It's infinite. So God is joined yoga associated with this infinite possibilities and infinite powers. That is Ramanujacharya's meaning. We find Sridhara Swami, who was one of the also the commentators on the commentary. Yeah, this happens. Of Shankaracharya. He says, Aghatita Ghatana Samarthya. That is, he makes the impossible possible. And if you reverse it, also means the possible impossible. So the meaning of the word yoga is divine yoga is makes the impossible possible. Madhusudan Saraswati, another commentator on the commentary of Shankaracharya, he says the superabundance of the power of yoga. Now, most of these explanations don't really zero in on what we are trying to clarify, this divine yoga. The word yoga itself now has got a tremendous meaning. It's vaster than what we know of yoga. Like God is associated with infinite powers, infinite knowledge, and, and infinite will. These are the three powers of God. The power of knowledge, it's called Icha Shakti. The power of will is called, the first one is Jnana Shakti, sorry. Power of knowledge is Jnana Shakti. The second one is the power of will, Icha Shakti. And the third is the power to work, Kriya Shakti. So this whole creation is a result of these three powers of God. The power of knowledge, the power of will, and the power of work. So that knowledge has to be translated into something tangible. And one has to have a will. This is the reason why we say, God willed, let there be light, and there was light. Yes, it's good. But he also has the power of. So God is associated with these three powers. What do you mean associated? How do you think, how the closest meaning you can get of this association or union? The closest thing that I can think of right now is like the mind is joined to the body. It's almost impossible for ordinary people to disengage the mind from the body or the soul from the mind and body. So it is actually one. There are, it's so finely blended, it has become one. So this fine blending, the complete merging is yoga. So God and yoga are, as it were, one. And through this yoga, he has, through his powers of knowledge, of will, and of work, has created this. Is that all of God? Is he only the creator, preserver, and destroyer of this? No. Because in one of the oldest hymns in the Vedas called Purusha Sukta, so Padosmi Sarva Bhutanam, so Padosmi. So 1/4 is this visible universe. The 3/4 are in the divine realm. So God is not only immanent in his creation, but also transcendental. Padosmi Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasyamritam Divi. So God is much more. So yoga is not only in this tangible thing that we see, God in his immanent form, but also transcendent. Otherwise, how do we call God infinite? Because when you talk about creation, creation has to be finite. Yes, the very word creation itself implies there cannot be a continuous creation. It's a cyclic process. It goes on round and round and round. Now, we've understood at least this. What is the meaning of the word yoga? God, with his infinite powers, is one with creation. So the meaning of the word yoga itself is creation. The meaning of the word yoga is God himself in both his transcendent and immanent aspects. I want to bring in another concept here. Swami Vivekananda, in his Vespers hymn, in the first hymn, he speaks about Shri Ramakrishna as Yoga Sahai, is generally translated as he who helps us in yoga. And in our translations, a helper in yoga. Because Sahai is help and yoga, helper in yoga. So what's helper in yoga? He helps us achieve yoga. How? By joining him to us. But there's another meaning for this word yoga sahai. God, through or with the help of yoga, has created this world. So this world is, in a way, the yoga form of God. People want to know, where is God? Well, you see creation. This is the yoga form of God. Why do you run about here and there? So this is the meaning of yoga sahaya. And Swamiji uses another word in that same line. He says, Jrimbita Yuga Ishvara Jaga Ishvara Yoga Sahaya. So we'll take each word separately. Jrimbita is one who manifests. Yuga Ishvara, the Lord of this age. Then he says Jaga Ishvara, the Lord of the world. So the Lord of the world, the Lord of the age has manifested through the powers of yoga. He is not just a helper in yoga. He is much more. Now this word Jrimbita has got it's a very rich word. So God manifests itself as this world, and so he is the Lord of this world, the Lord of this age. This word Jrimbita is also used by Shankaracharya in one of his hymns. And the hymn is called Dakshinamurti Stotra. It's a hymn to Shiva in his form of Dakshina. One Dakshina is not just south, it means one who offers gifts. What gifts does Shiva offer? Knowledge. He eradicates ignorance. About what? About his real nature. So you find him saying in his beautiful hymn, he describes how we are talking about yoga, how this universe arises in yoga and then dissolves in yoga. One thing you must understand, in the Chandogya Upanishad, we find a very beautiful verse when the sage Narada has gone to another sage called Sanat Kumara to ask about the reality. And Sanat Kumara questions him Well, what do you know? And he rattles off a list of things he knows. He knows the 64 types of knowledges, from archery to metallurgy to medicine to everything is right down. But he says, I'm still, with all this knowledge, I'm miserable. So there has to be something that is more than just mere knowledge. Then, as he's teaching him stage by stage, Sanat Kumara, he says, the earth is meditating as it were. The skies are meditating as it were. The heavens are meditating as it were. The ocean is meditating as it were. The trees and forests are meditating as it were. So he gives us a picture of this whole universe is meditating as it were. This whole universe is meditating. We complain, oh, I can't meditate. My mind is restless. Yeah, it's because we have contracted ourselves so much into our egos. We have gone into a shell, and that's why we cannot meditate. If you open yourself up, understand nature, be one with nature, it will be very easy to meditate. Why? Because the whole universe is meditating as it were. So we have an idea now that this visible universe, which we think is sometimes gross, sometimes so beautiful, sometimes ugly, sometimes sublime, and sometimes terrible. You see the news and you're saying, what's happening to this world?
Yeah.
And yet you see the beauty of the world at times. What is this? Here it is, once our vision is clear by the understanding of yoga. And what I mean by the understanding of the yoga, that the whole universe is meditating as it were. To come back to Shankaracharya's hymn now, the whole hymn is, I'll translate it word to word, okay? So those who are not familiar with Sanskrit can hold on for a while. Bijasyantarivankuro jagadidam pragnirvikalpam punah Maya kalpita desha kala kalanai vaichitra chitri kritam Maya eva vrijimbayatyapi mahayogiva swechaya Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. I'll break it down. Saying Bijasya Iva Antara Kuro Jagadidam. Like a seed. We know a seed. That we have the whole tree, as it were, in the seed. Bijasi eva antara kuro jagat. The whole world is in a form of a seed now, and which, through the power of Maya, the various manifestations arise. So there was a time when this whole universe was in the form of a seed, and from that seed has arisen all the diversity what we find. Everything that we see was in a seed form in the very beginning. Then he makes another statement which is astounding. Then he said, Maya Eva, like a magician or a mighty yogi who brings out a thing from within itself, so does the Lord bring out this entire universe from its seed form. Now you'll say, where is the seed? The seed is in the Lord. And the word uses vrijimbayati. The Lord manifests this entire universe. So, like a magician, we now we know how magicians, of course, magicians don't tell us. That's the problem. So there is like a magician or like a mighty yogi. Now, these yogis, mighty yogis, they used to materialize things like out from nowhere, like magicians. They materialize and it catches off guard. You say, how did he do that? So creation is like something like the Lord is like a kind of a magician or like a great yogi who materializes the entire universe. And as I said, the word used vrijimbayati. He manifests, he brings out from the seed form. That is, the Lord himself expands. That is another. So the Lord itself expands. Creation and the creator cannot be separate. In Vedanta, one of the principles of understanding Vedanta is you cannot have a creation and a creator separate. You cannot have creation here and God in heaven. Vedanta completely dismisses that idea. If there's a creator, that creation has to be here now in the Lord. With the Lord is the Lord. And the explanation, one of the illustrations rather, in one of the Upanishads called the Mundaka Upanishad is given, like a spider that projects a web out of itself and withdraws it. So the Lord projects this universe out of itself and again withdraws it. So this is the meaning of vrijimbayati, manifest, projection. Creation, technically in Sanskrit, the word actually, the correct word for creation is projection, srishti. And in that way, Swamiji has also reminded us that the Hindus do not believe in creation, ex nihilo, creation coming out of nothing. It's a projection. Srish means project. So the Lord projects what? Through his powers of yoga. What? The universe, himself as a universe. This is the meaning of the word yoga. Projection, creation, the Lord himself. And what do you find in the manifested world? The sky is meditating, as it were. The oceans are meditating, and the trees and plants and everything is meditating, as it were. This whole universe is, why? Because he is the great Lord of yoga. Now, this is in a way understood. Okay. Let's come down to an astounding incident that happened in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, because this will give you a much better perspective on what has been discussed. Might be some high philosophy here. It is. So Sri Ramakrishna was as well struck, afflicted with cancer, the throat. He is in Kashipur. He cannot eat and he is slowly wasting. One time, it was Swami Niranjanananda, whose birthday we celebrated yesterday. He is looking at Sri Ramakrishna. He was on night duty. Sri Ramakrishna is lying down on his mattress, which is kept on the floor. And Niranjanananda is seeing his body that is wasting. And he says, "This is my Guru." Oh my God. And then Sri Ramakrishna looks at him, saying, you know, Niranjan, anyone who sees me in this form of mine now will be liberated. But the more the people will see me in this form, this body will not last. So Niranjan, he says, then he's saying, we will not let anyone come and see you because we want to hold you for a longer time with us. But what Sri Ramakrishna says about anyone who sees me in this state, this form, will be liberated. And we've seen pictures of him completely wasted, skin and bones. Everything has shrunken. And yet, why can't we see that real form of the Lord? So at Kashipur, this is one incident to bring us into the correct perspective of contemporary times, rather, because we still have people who are in that particular lineage who can watch for what has been written there. Ramakrishna again on another day, he's sitting down. M, the recorder of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Brahmananda, Swami Vivekananda, and the others were sitting with him. They are all gazing at him. And Swami Brahmananda, he says, he's pointing to his brother disciple Narendra. That is the future Swami Vivekananda. His own words, Narendra is beginning to understand you rather well. So Sri Ramakrishna smiles and says, yes, that is so. I see many others too are beginning to understand. And then he looks at M and he asks, isn't that so? Then the master, smiling, he says, he's looking at again Swamiji, the future Swamiji, saying, well, what do you think of me? He can't speak, or maybe speaking in whispers. Most of this is gesticulating, a kind of, Narendra, he says, you are a hero. You are a handmaid of God and everything else. What's that? Hearing these words, Sri Ramakrishna went into ecstasy. He was filled with divine emotions. He places his hand on his chest and was about to say something. But before we can go to the next, what he says, you're a hero, you're a handmaid of God. According to me, this could mean you, you know, in the Jnana Yoga, it's kind of the heroic people who can take up this Jnana Yoga. It's not meant for everybody. That is, because it needs a very heroic temperament. And the handmaid of God, yeah, that's a path of bhakti. So, like you are knowledge, you are devotion, everything, and many things more, he says. So, to come back to the narration, so Sri Ramakrishna places his hand on his chest and about to say something. And then after a while, he looks again at Narendra. He says, I see that all things, everything that exists has come from this. Now, try to visualize this. He is rail thin, emaciated, in pain. He is placing his hand on his chest and saying, I see that all things, everything that exists has come from this. Only a madman or God can say that. Then he asks Narendra, he looks at Narendra and he inquires with a sign, what did you understand? And here it is, Narendra. He says, all created objects have come from you. I'll repeat it. All created objects have come from you. The master's face beamed with joy. And he points to Rakal. Did you hear what he says? This Narendra had developed that divine eye. When Krishna had told Arjuna, you can't see me with these eyes, I'll give you the divine eyes. See my divine yoga. And this is what happens. So, Sri Ramakrishna at that point is identified with God. It is God who's speaking. This is the yoga. He is associated with one with God, and he's saying everything. It's like the Drimbayati manifested through yoga, through the powers of yoga. This entire universe, like a magician creating things, or like a mighty yogi materializing things. So this entire universe is the yoga form of God. God is within this. This is one of the meanings, the highest meaning of the word yoga. And this is what you have to remember when you are practicing yoga, that these yogic practices are means to understand this yoga, the divinity, the divine form of God. Then will come the culmination of yoga. There is another word, Sanskrit, you can say. verse. Yogena yoga gyatavyam. No yoga through yoga. Yoga, yoga pravartate. Through yoga, follow the path of yoga. Walk the path of yoga. One who is diligent in the practice of yoga, he or she will revel or be merged in yoga. So the path is yoga, the universe is yoga, the Lord is yoga, the end is yoga. This is the divine yoga of the Lord. Om, peace, peace, peace. I only hope it wasn't too heavy. But somewhere deep down, I had to kind of explain to people that yoga is much more than a yoga studio or a pose. All these are good. It's going to lead you to this highest form of yoga. And God is in yoga. The processes of yoga are guided by yoga. So next time you go around, you see creation and yell and shout and scream at it. I think you need to have a change of perspective. I'll leave a few minutes for questions if there are. It's good to see you all.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is Jyoti here. When are you coming to visit, Swami?
Yes.
Yes, you promised me August, and now I'm going to call you out in front of everybody.
Oh, God. Our sister Jyoti, yes. I will, but I'm trying to figure out what's the most convenient time where I just don't want to go for a day or two and come back, and I will spend some time with you all, and I promise I will go. I noticed also that in September, Swami Sarvadevananda is coming and Swami Yogatmananda is coming. In fact, I'm going to Huntsville, Alabama. And one of my first thought was, okay, I could go to Atlanta. But then I say, Swami Yogatmananda is already going there.
Yes, but he's not coming until October.
Yeah, October 14th.
Okay.
And so I'll let you know when I can make it. Yeah, it's one of those things. I would like Vedanta Society of Western Washington to be associated with Atlanta Center.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Because those two swamis that you mentioned, they're only here for 2 days, so it's very short. So you can come stay a week or more. Please stay as long. We'll keep you.
Yeah, Bhagavan Das has a cat there.
Yeah. No, it's a dog.
Dog. Okay. Now, like Sri Ramakrishna says, my tail also is tied. Like the dog is tied to Bhagavan Das. My tail also is tied here to so many things. And I have to either cut my tail or I don't want to do that, but I've been kind of traveling up and down and for a few months and giving classes. Some of our swamis are not well. Our old swami is 95 and he needs care and attention. And there's another Swami who stays at a retreat. He's not well. So there's a kind of extra burden over us, apart from our weekly classes and talks and seminars and conferences. Oof. I'll go to Atlanta because I need to take a break and take a rest that day. Okay, that will be my rest. Okay. So thank you again very much. I hope, okay, Uma is saying she has
yes,
question.
please. May I comment? First, incredibly enlightening is the lecture.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
it's such a deep meaning of yoga, which hardly, I doubt if anyone knows.
Yes, that's the reason why I said
That's right.
I have to tell people
Exactly.
about this.
Exactly. So what can we do? We means not only our group, but how to bring to common people the real intent and the meaning and the richness of this term yoga. How to make it? How to
the first thing is let's be practical.
Yeah.
You all will have to often meet and practice a little yoga.
Yes.
And I would recommend our sister Jyoti.
Yes.
She is a yoga teacher.
Yep.
Start with something. Make yoga a part of your life. Make it central. Then you can appreciate what is yoga, and then the higher meaning of yoga will slowly dawn on this. So, yoga should not be in the fringes of your life.
Right.
Think of God as yoga. And as make God that central, make God central point in your life. That makes it easy. So then slowly, you will kind of, okay. So get together, bring people together, and start practicing, thinking yoga. The more time you give something, the better it becomes.
Yeah.
Okay.
My question, Swamiji, forgive me. My question is how to tell other people what is really yoga, because it is so mistakenly used, in yoga classes. It's not just exercises. It is this kind of union with your true self.
Yes, but like I said, the best way to spread yoga is to practice yoga. It is your life is the best teacher for others.
Right. Right.
So if you live your life in yoga, the others will see you and get inspired, and then they will say, hey, what's this? Then they will ask you, how is this transformation? Oh, I'm practicing yoga. Oh, all right, very good. So instead of going and trying to drum this thing to people, religion is spread mainly by life.
Yes.
Life emulating life.
Right.
Okay. So don't worry, you'll be successful one day. Well, Sri Ramakrishna has come for that.
Thank you.
Swami, I have one question. Swami, I have one question.
Okay.
You were talking about Niranjanananda. I missed that. What exactly Sri Ramakrishna said to Niranjanananda when you see the body like that with the bones and skin?
Yeah. If you see anyone who sees me like this, will get liberated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But
So,
it's a wonderful lecture, Swami, because
and
you
this is one of the reasons why
It's-
I spoke slowly, you know. So that people will kind of get an won't miss anything, because these were like profound ideas strung together. So anyway, good to see you, Nali.
Thank you,
And
Swami.
One more
I'm
question, one more.
next week I'm going to Denver. Aima.
Oh, say before.
Swami, you are coming next Sunday. This is Haima from Denver.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I'm going to be there on Sunday at
Okay.
Bloomfield.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. We have a
Okay.
lecture whole day Sunday.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. We have another question here.
I'll see you there.
Swamiji, hi, I'm Sujata, and I understand how you're, equating God with yoga. I understand, and the manifestation, it's a projection, and the infinite.
Can you just come closer to the microphone? I can't hear you.
So I understand when you are equating God with manifestation.
Yeah.
And, the projection and
Yeah.
also how it's infinite. What I have a lot of problem with, is that how it's equated with being, God is being equated with being like He. Because isn't that giving God a human form?
Yeah, God exists in everything and everywhere.
But why is it a He and not a she?
Why can't you see him?
Why is God a He and not a she?
Oh, no. I'm just it is a it.
Okay.
Yeah, God appears in various forms. All forms are his. There is no gender there. And Holy Mother, when she was asked, why did you survive the male side of an avatar? So she says, I have been left to demonstrate the motherhood of God. God is mother. Yes, and this is one of the easiest and the best ways to approach God. So think of God as mother. Sometimes I use the word he and she, but it's really it. But if for devotion, if you want to cultivate devotion, you look at God as mother. Yes. In the hymn, the third hymn during the Vespers, thou createst, preservest, and destroys the universe. We are praying to Holy Mother, Srishti Sthiti Vinashanam. So she is in charge of creation, preservation, destruction. She is the all-powerful. God is mother, not only just a woman or she. God is mother. And approach God through this. Because what happens is, with the idea of mother comes great love. So go ahead, and there's no stopping. You should not be stopped with any gender or pronouns or whatever.
Yes.
So thank you all very much. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.